It's good to receive my fruiting to tease him in the future. Longqi was also smiling. Ding congratulated the host Bailon for successfully advancing to the Ning 76th level. Li Changshen washed his hands by the waterfall. The system is really awesome. It gave me a high-level realm after just a little bit of playing. Who would practice with such a thing? He smiled sincerely. Score it. Score it. You don't need to look at the score. It's definitely 0 points. Even if there is 1 point, I will drink the water of Jinwu. There is a modifier who took out a paper fan from somewhere and waved it. He thought he was very elegant and commented. Yi Qinghan shook his head at the scoring table and raised his hand. Li Changshen 300 meters, 1 point. This time, the whole area was in an uproar. Countless people were stunned. What the hell is this 300 meters? How can you say such a thing without blushing? Isn't Yi Qinghan known as the iron-faced and impartial examiner? How come he said 1 point when he opened his mouth? Or did Li Changshen really jump too fast? Didn't we see it clearly? Yi Changmao, we don't accept it. The young man who waved the folding fan jumped out before. You are obviously training to cheat. If you have the strength, don't go to the cloud meeting. All living beings are here to use their power for personal gain. You are not worthy of being the examiner. His words were semantically correct and asked in a smooth manner, which resonated with most of the modifiers. Yes, yes, we are not convinced. 2 more people jumped out to modify Yi Qinghan's expression. The first young man who bore the brunt was instantly pressed to the ground. He was unconscious. The other 2 were also pale. They dared not raise their throats. It was too scary. Respect your teachers. This is your first lesson. I don't want anyone to dare to question your elders. The next stop is Feiyun Mountain behind you. Rest for 10 minutes. I will throw you into the mountains and come out alive to get the spoils to pass the level. Yi Qinghan gave a cold congratulation and then closed his eyes. Everyone whispered about the young man with the folding fan. They let them know that even if the disciples of the Holy Land said something wrong, they would be punished, not to mention those who have not yet entered the door. Only strength can save lives. Li Changshen shook his hands and walked out. Li Changshen's crisp voice sounded, and Li Changshen trembled all over, but the voice should not make him turn his head. Sure enough, he saw a fairy with beautiful eyebrows and eyes coming over. You recognized the wrong person. Li Changshen waved his hand and walked aside. What do you mean you recognized the wrong person? Huang Rui shouted angrily, don't shout. Li Changshen collapsed. How come everyone knows that he is liming, but he thinks that his identity is well hidden, right? It's really you. Huang Rui laughed and said, I am impressed by you. Li Changshen didn't expect that he had lived for more than 500 years and his identity was exposed by a little girl. He was speechless. You are already a disciple of Inner Mongolia, and you still come to participate in the entrance test? Li Changshen frowned. You are already a disciple of Inner Mongolia, can't you also come to participate in the test? As for my mother, she came to get the reward, 5 yang yuan to help me enter the painting god. Huang Rui smiled and said, fortunately, she doesn't know that I am Li Changshen, the dragonfly sword fairy. Li Changshen breathed a sigh of relief. That's not too embarrassing, don't get too close to me. Li Changshen, Baishou, you also know that it is difficult for me to improve my cultivation, and I can't reach the level of quasi-victorious people like you. What if I get beaten by those who admire you because of you? Huang Rui's eyes rolled around, a little bit evil. I'm here to hit you, please don't. Li Changsheng was shocked. If he hugged her like this, there would definitely be disputes in the future. And he would become the center of this class of freshmen. How could he be slow? He shouted, "Look, I'm scared of you," and Huang Rui laughed. Li Changsheng wiped a cold sweat. If he was to say who he was most afraid of in the sect, it was undoubtedly Huang Rui in front of him. Even with his 500 years of life experience, he was scared to death by this girl, because Huang Rui was too crazy. She was still laughing with others in the last second, and she might kill your whole family with a knife in the next second. This kind of woman has to worry about being stabbed to death by him when she is sleeping. The holy fairy in the yellow long skirt is just his disguise. He was walking with De Huang at the time, and secretly gave Huang Rui some sword skills in the middle of the night. The next day, King Pingfeng started a big fire, and the third day, De Huang's hair was plucked out. If it weren't for his strict order to De Huang not to reveal his strength, the Holy Land would probably be reduced to ruins now. Li Changsheng knew the reason without Huang Rui telling him, that is, trespassing into a girl's residence. When I broke into Lu Ruyan's cave at night, I saw things I shouldn't have seen. Lu Ruyan was not as stingy as this little girl. Okay, it's time to gather. At this time, Yi Qinghan's voice came. Is the time up? Is it 10 minutes? I feel like I just sat down. Could it be that the time for the magical power to enter is faster than ours? The grooms looked puzzled. Yi Qing's eyebrows jumped. He was helping his uncle Li to get out of trouble. He knew what kind of character Wang Rui was, but he couldn't let his uncle suffer. Thinking of this, he waved his hand, and a mirror door appeared in front of the waterfall. He walked in and randomly appeared somewhere in the Feiyin Mountains. Complete your assessment. Yi Qinghan's voice resounded, then let Longqi go first. Okay, Fengshen, the handsome dragon rider came out to set an example, still looking like the chief disciple, and then the dragon rider quickly jumped into the gate and disappeared. What a magical space! The horse is the holy horse, and then everyone entered the mirror gate one by one. Huang Rui entered. Yi Qinghan looked at Huang Rui and saw that he was still persistently asking Li Changsheng, and hurriedly shouted, "Cut in, go in." Huang Rui's mouth rose when he heard it. I saw Yoli and Li Changsheng suddenly thought about whether to reconsider Huang Rui as the next Holy Mother. This Holy Mother has tried every means to drive him away, and the next one will kill him. Li Changsheng was lost in thought for a while, and there was no one in the canyon. So forget it. Yi Qinghan originally wanted to let Li Changsheng enter the mirror gate, but later thought about it and decided to forget it. If Li's output was unexpected, he would blame himself. The grace of preaching is heavier than a mountain. He, Yi Qinghan, is a very upright person. How could he do something to destroy his ancestors for 7 generations? Li Changsheng saw that there was no one around and the Feiyin Mountains had returned to their track and field appearance. He found a big rock to lie on and gradually fell asleep. In his 500-year career, he could find a place to sleep anytime and anywhere. His motto had become, "What is the most important thing to sleep?" Congratulations to the host Bailon for successfully advancing to the 7th level of spiritual energy in the Zhenwu Holy Temple. Lu Ruyan sat on the main seat, beautiful and stunning, with a group of backbone elders on both sides. Elder Lin, you said that David Huangjiao was born with a majestic aura. Is it true? Elder Wen, the eldest prince of the dynasty, really went to the original holy place. Lu Ruyan's voice was clear, and the temperature of the whole hall seemed to drop a lot. At this time, a man with a straight look ran in hurriedly. Lu Ruiyan's heart moved. This was his order to observe the entrance examination. Today's meeting will start at the clinic. Lu Ruiyan gave an order and the elders left one after another. Nothing happened as expected by the saint. Junior brother Ling Ling really went to participate in the entrance examination. What is his name now? Li Changshen. Lu Ruiyan stood up with disbelief in her eyes. What is his name now? He was sweating profusely. Ding Xingli, Li Changshen, Lu Ruiyan suddenly smiled. Did he pass the first level? He passed. Didn't I order that no one below the fourth level of qi condensation could pass? Lu Ruiyan frowned and said, when Li Changshen lost his land, the side soul stone happened to be broken. Elder Qing Han made a joke. Lu Ruiyan lightly scolded, how could the side soul stone be damaged? It seems that he had known that Lu Ruiyan would ask this question a long time ago, and quickly handed over the golden ball of the magic stamp. Lu Ruiyan almost laughed after reading it. What kind of luck is this? Then he must have been eliminated in the second level. You can see it yourself. He looked straight and handed over another golden ball. Lu Ruiyan's spirit probed for a few seconds and then the golden ball was crushed by Lu Ruiyan. It is because of this group of people who do whatever they want that our holy land has such a bad reputation now. It's outrageous. Lu Ruiyan's full chest was heaving, and his movements were up and down. It was so mad that I was dying. Lu Ruiyan reached out and grabbed the Starlight Holy Realm from the void. This realm was unpredictable and was left by Yiba's Hunqing. He could explore the Holy Land in real time and supervise the entire Holy Land to be the authentic Holy Land of Xinwu Holy Land. Just now, Yi Qinghan used him to send the monks who were taking the test. Now the Holy Land is in Lu Ruiyan's hands. Lu Ruiyan sneered and glanced. In the picture, Li Changshen, who was sleeping, and Yi Qinghan, who was panicking, formed a famous contrast. The next second, Lu Ruiyan appeared in the lens space before his death, and he immediately stepped into the Xinwu waterfall. Yi Qinghan felt the disappearance of the holy mirror and secretly said it was broken. Just as he was about to remind Li Shushu, a mirror appeared in the canyon and colorful petals floated in the air. Welcome the saint. The straight men who participated in the scoring knew what happened and stood up to welcome him. Li Changshen, who was sleeping soundly, sat up suddenly. What kind of saint is this? He rubbed his sleepy eyes and looked at the beautiful woman in front of the Xinwu waterfall. Yi Qinghan, do you know your mistake? Lu Ruiyan's cold voice made Yi Qinghan a little bit embarrassed. Seeing this, Lu Yun was embarrassed and laughed. Let's not talk about the saint. Lu Ruiyan wrinkled her nose. Of course, he knew what the handwriting of this Yi Qinghan was. He was the most upright elder in the sect. Otherwise, he would not let him be the chief examiner, but it was because he was too upright that he wanted to violently break the friendship of Changxing and destroy the rules of the sect. Compared with returning the grace of preaching, in Yi Qinghan's heart, the grace of preaching obviously prevailed. Yi Qinghan was helpless, but he also had the pride of seeing show. At worst, he would not be the chief examiner. Lu Ruiyan rolled her eyes and walked towards Li Changshen to welcome the saint. Li Changshen was neither humble nor arrogant and lost a courtesy. Li Shushu Lu Ruiyan looked cold and took out the Bible and covered him and Li Changshen in the mirror space. You go back to your King Pingfeng but don't make trouble. Why? Li Changshen blinked his eyes. I'm 23 years old. It's reasonable for the contract police to participate in the entrance examination. Everyone is playing games in the mountains. You are the only one sleeping here. What do other disciples think of our Zhengwu Holy Classic? Lu Ruiyan frowned and felt helpless. The saint meant that Li Changxing had entered the examination and set an example to arouse the fighting spirit of the new disciples. Lu Ruiyan pursed her lips. Li Changxing glanced at him and felt that he had already entered the examination. Anyway, there was water everywhere. It would be quick to go directly into the mountains to sleep. He had an immortal body. If he gave it to the monster, it would probably break the monster's teeth. Okay, listen to you. After thinking it through, Li Changxing relaxed his muscles and walked towards the mirror that Lu Ruiyan had opened up for him. The next moment, he disappeared in front of the waterfall. Elder Yi, please supervise the assessment. I have something else to do. A piece of light flashed across the field. In the figure of Wu Lu Ruiyan, Yi Qinghang also had a mirror in his hand. The Feiyun Mountains are endless. Li Changxing fell into a lush forest. I went there. Lu Ruiyan saw through Su's plan and threw me to this place. Li Changxing hung on the support of a big tree and looked at the bottom in a daze. He was famous for deceiving insects. Lu Ruiyan actually sent him to a height of nearly 100 meters above the ground. After 4 weeks of egg white, his face suddenly changed. This place is an area where third-level monsters frequently appear. This area must be at least the refining valley Gaozhong to come. There are even occasional divine mirrors. The wolf howls all around seem to verify what Li Changxing thought in his heart, otherwise the blood-eyed monster wolf